It has now been 3 days since a mysterious murder took place at the Burning Man Festival on Saturday. And still, at the time of this recording, police know nothing. They are now pleading with festival goers to come forward with something, anything, saying that no detail is too small. But people refuse to talk. At the time of this recording, they have not even identified the victim yet. They don't know who he is. They have put out his description. They have put out details about him. No one is coming forward saying anything at all. So they're still on square one. They can't figure out what happened to him. They can't figure out who did it. And they can't even figure out who he is. Now that's shady. That lets you know that some really shady stuff was going on out at that festival. Because it's not like you can just walk to Burning Man. He had to get to Burning Man somehow. Who took him there? As far as I know, law enforcement and investigators, they have not found a left behind vehicle because at this time, everyone has basically left. So they have not found a vehicle belonging to him. They have interviewed several people. No one knows anything. How do you get killed in a crowd of tens of thousands of people without anyone knowing? People were dancing around his body. So when you really think about it, and I said this in a prior video, no one goes to Burning Man by themselves. You go out there to hang out with friends and have a good time. Maybe you meet the friends there. Maybe you take a road trip with them to Burning Man. But you don't just appear at Burning Man by yourself with no vehicle, no way out there. So either everyone who knew this guy is being quiet, they're staying silent for a reason, or this guy just somehow, some way, no ID, no identification, no transportation, just winded up at the Burning Man Festival, dead on the ground during their big Burning Man ritual as they're burning the man, as the man is burning. Really, really weird stuff. And I've said from the beginning, it looks like some type of human sacrifice cult ritual to me. And maybe that's why no one is saying anything. Maybe this is just some guy that they randomly snatched up and brought out there to sacrifice, and that's why no one knows who he is. Or maybe his friends know what happened to him. Or his acquaintances. Whoever he was with out there, someone knows something. You don't have tens of thousands of people out there with no one knowing anything, but we have not heard about a fight. We have not heard about a scuffle, an altercation, nothing. Police still know nothing. But they were talking about this on the news. Like I said, the investigators, law enforcement, they're basically begging for information at this point. Because now the festival is over. The festival goers have gone home. The organizers are in the process of cleaning all of that stuff up and getting all of those structures out of there. And investigators are left scratching their head. Because how do you figure out who did this in a crowd of tens of thousands of people? You can't rely on like, oh, I found some DNA evidence. I found a hair here. I found this that was belonging to this person here, because there's tens of thousands of people right in the same area. But I want to go ahead and roll this news clip really quickly. Let's listen to what they have to say. Before I roll the clip, though, make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps the channel so much. Hit the like button. Share the video on social media. If you're feeling generous, you could always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly and humbly appreciated. With that being said, though, let's roll this news clip, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Man found dead at Nevada's Burning Man Festival over the weekend is the victim of an apparent homicide. That's according to investigators. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office says the man was found lying in a pool of blood during the Arts and Music Festival that draws thousands of people each year. News Nation's Nancy Liu is live from LA. Nancy, what is the latest and what is now an apparent murder mystery?
Well, Nicole, the sheriff has put out a new appeal for information about the victim, who remains unidentified 3 days since his suspected murder. Complicating the investigation is the dismantling of Black Rock City. That's the desert community that comes together annually for the Burning Man Festival. The main exodus out of the Nevada desert site was yesterday, and the temporary metropolis is expected to be cleared in the next few days. Now, the apparent murder came to light right before the big highlight of the festival, the burning of a large wooden effigy at the center of Black Rock City. Just as the man began to burn Saturday night, a festival goer alerted a sheriff's deputy about a man lying in a pool of blood in one of the campsites. Investigators secured that area to collect potential evidence, but there were no apparent identifiers of the dead man, who's described as white, 30 to 40 years old, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, short brown hair, and facial hair. Now, the murder mystery overshadows a problematic festival this year. Right at the start last week, more than 30 people suffered injuries and had to be transported to hospitals due to a major dust storm. The week also brought an emergency response for the birth of a baby to a woman who did not know she was pregnant. The sheriff is appealing to festival goers to pass along any information to help track down the suspect who committed what they're calling a heinous crime against another human being. Nicole?
Yeah, and Nancy, this is not the first death linked to this festival, to Burning Man.
Yeah, not at all. There have been about 10 deaths linked to the festival since it moved to Black Rock Desert in 1990. A number of attendees have been killed in traffic incidents in or around the Burning Man site. There's been at least one suicide and one drug overdose death. And in 2017, a 41-year-old man died from severe burns after breaking past security guards and running into the Burning Man structure.
You know, this may be the first time that we're dealing with a murder mystery at Burning Man, but make no mistake about it. And as they even mentioned in that news clip, there's always something crazy going on out there. From the crazy sandstorms to the flooding, people, just falling off from doing too many drugs, what have you. There's always something going on. And my question is, do these people ever get the sense? Do they ever get the feeling or the sense that maybe God, or if they don't believe in God, maybe the universe is sending them a message? Like maybe God or maybe the universe, maybe whatever higher figure you believe in, maybe they don't appreciate you being out here acting like a cult in the middle of the desert. Maybe there's a reason why every time y'all go out there, there's all these crazy storms and all types of horrible things happen to ruin the festival. Maybe it's about time to consider doing something else with your life instead of going and trying to pretend to be Mad Max for a week and then coming and telling everyone what a great experience it is as you have 4 pounds of desert Las Vegas sand caked between your butt cheeks. I don't know. When I look at videos from Burning Man, part of it looks so cool and interesting, and the other part of it just looks absolutely miserable, right? So I just feel like we've gotten enough signs. The universe has sent us enough signs now that, hey, maybe they don't like this, Maybe they don't. Maybe the higher power out there doesn't take too kindly to you guys dancing around a burning effigy as if you're worshiping a false idol. I don't know. There's really always been something sort of satanic, demonic, or just cultish about the Burning Man Festival for me. And I keep saying this, I'm going to say it again. The fact that this murder happened when it did, I think that says so much about whoever did this. And, part of me was wondering for a second there, like, could this man have done this to himself? And the reason I say that is because people hurt themselves at Burning Man all the time. People literally throw themselves into the Burning Man fire. So was that a possibility? But I think that would be easier to figure out for law enforcement. And because law enforcement doesn't think that happened, obviously they think someone killed the guy. But I've never seen an investigation like this one, right? I've never seen cops or investigators have to deal with these type of circumstances where they have a murder investigation ongoing in an area where there was just a gigantic festival with almost 100,000 people, and they're out there in the middle of the desert, in the middle of sandstorms, trying to collect evidence. It's bonkers to think about. And it might be the perfect crime. I think there's a possibility that whoever did this gets away with it. If no one talks. If no one talks, there's a possibility that whoever did this gets away with it. But at the very least, you gotta believe that the man who died has some friends or some associates that went to Burning Man. And for some reason, either maybe they don't know that it was him that got killed, or they just aren't saying anything. So I do definitely believe there's something shady going on here for sure. I feel like this is more than just a spur of the moment altercation. Because if that were the case, I believe there would be more witnesses that saw something, and I believe people would be more willing to talk. But we'll just have to wait and see. For now, you guys let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.